Welcome to TEIJG, the Teaching English in Japan Guide. I'm the Yank.
And I'm the Crank.
And this is a podcast. We're on episode 28. We are for December 11th, 2009, the last podcast of the year.
That's the last one, yep.
We're taking off 3 weeks. We get 3 weeks of school off, so we're going to take off 3 weeks of podcasting, yeah.
We certainly are, yes. Yes. We've worked hard this year, and it's been pretty busy lately, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think it seems like right before the vacations, you get that last rush of, let's try to teach every lesson in the book that we missed.
Yes, and let's just pump it all out in the 1 week or something, you know?
Definitely. I know next week I got a pretty jammed beginning of the week. How about your week next week?
Yeah, next week's pretty rammed all week. There's a lot of tests to finish off marking, and they've got to get through that book, so yeah, pretty much packed every day.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the syllabus at the beginning of the year, it doesn't look like there's a lot of work to do. They're like, one lesson a month. We can get through that, but for some reason you just don't get through it, yeah. Yeah,
well, you see, they have all those extra events, don't they, that are thrown in, and things happen and people are sick. Plus we had like a couple of missed weeks with all the influenza.
The influenza is definitely... Well, I think every one of my schools was affected. We at least had one class from each school take off a week or two.
Yes, that made a big difference, didn't it?
Yeah, it was. Did you
put them behind?
Yeah, and of course they give them homework, and I had to grade some of their essays while they stayed home and watched TV, and they actually sounded bored and missed their friends.
Oh yeah.
So I think school is such a big part of life in Japan for high school students and junior high as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you start school, it's like, you're basically from kindergarten until you graduate high school. You're with these, you might change schools from junior high to high school, but you're with the same group of people for 10 hours a day, yeah?
At least. And some of them, they do all the club activities together as well.
Yeah, the other night, like 11 o'clock, I'm driving home, and I see this junior high student riding her bike home by herself at night.
God.
So probably in a school band or something, one of the clubs that the practice is pretty late.
She hadn't gone to like Juku.
That's possible that she could have gone to her Juku's a cram school for those who don't know. Gone to her cram school. But yeah, 11 at night.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Well, for one thing, it was freezing that night, so I wasn't even thinking about the safety. I was thinking about the temperature,
Yeah, and she'd be up at 7 the next morning.
Oh, yeah.
Be at school by 8.
Yep, so they definitely dedicate a lot of time. But as we mentioned many times, the actual amount of work being done at school, it wouldn't rank the highest on efficiency, would it?
No, definitely not the highest on efficiency.
So that's kind of interesting. But, yeah, other than that, I think it's been an interesting year, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it certainly has this year. It's been interesting.
This is my first ALT gig, so I can say it's been pretty good so far.
You see the kids sort of grow up, too, from the beginning of the year. And
the boneheads are starting to act a little bit more mature. Not much, but there's a hint of growth in the first grade boneheads.
You certainly see the difference, don't you, towards the end of the year. And, I haven't seen the third years for such a long time this year for different reasons. Mm-hmm. And they've really matured. And, you can see them, they're growing up as well.
Definitely.
Like, wow, last time I saw him, he was only short. Now he's tall, and...
Exactly.
You can really tell a difference in the kids.
Yeah, and one of my schools, I think... Well, I told you the last podcast, the principal came and did I tell? Maybe I might not have told this. Principal came and lectured them, and they were quiet for like a minute. And then after he left, they were loud again.
Back to normal.
Yeah, but then it seems like the school's been pulling the reins a little bit. They're having these uniform checks and haircut checks. So it's like, to me, I was kind of watching one of the teachers blast this guy about his hair touching his ears, and I was like, I didn't think they actually cared about the hair. I knew they cared about the uniform, but it seemed like maybe they're pulling in the reins a little bit on these guys. They went a little crazy with the with the earrings and the dyed hair. So they're talking about make sure you tell the students not to get perms, because once they get perms and hair color, it's going to be a few months before it can be changed. That's what they were talking about in student meeting last week, so that was kind of funny.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but they're definitely pulling in the reins on one. But let's get into the show. As we said, last podcast of the year, so we got a ram-packed podcast, wouldn't you say?
Oh, we certainly have. We've got some great stuff that's been happening the last few weeks, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
So,
great lot of material for all our listeners and members and subscribers out there.
And the cool thing is we haven't told each other these stories yet, so there should be some
we haven't, have we?
Interesting things coming out of the Yank and the Crank.
Yes, we've got it's all here. It's all here. We've got it all tonight to deliver across the airwaves.
So, Anthony, I think it's been a while. Give us a good one from the... What is your school called again? The Hillbilly Junior High.
Oh, Hillbilly
Give us a good
Junior
one.
High. Okay.
There's always good stuff coming from that school.
Oh, man. I mean, for starters, one would think to be entertained that you'd need to go to the movies or to a theatre play.
Or a game center or something.
Rock band or something, wouldn't you? Oh, no. But it's a myth. It's an absolute myth. All you have to do is work in a junior high school in Japan.
Yeah.
Like Hillbilly Junior High. And you get entertained for 5 days a week.
That's a bonus to your... It's like having an extra salary.
Oh, yes. It certainly is, yeah.
So, what entertainment per se happened this week?
So, yes.
Or the last couple of weeks, I should say.
Hillbilly Junior High in all its glory this week and last week stood up to the outstanding record of underachievements it has had for so long. Oh, God. And I have so many other great stories from our faithful... from some of our other faithful teachers teaching other schools. So these are some of the topics that I've got for tonight.
Shoot away.
Bike repair bash.
That sounds interesting.
Enemy at the gates.
Oh, that's always a good one.
Rice field rumble.
Rumble in the jungle of the rice?
Yes. Exam flight path.
Oh.
What? Safety goggles? Minefield Beach.
Minefield Beach. Oh,
yes.
that sounds like a bad one.
Oh, yes, that it certainly is. Not again. And high on hygiene. Also, dodgy dinner. So...
Dodgy dinner.
Yeah. It's, I've got a truckload of information, yeah. Great stories. And they're true. That's the amazing part.
We don't make any of this stuff up.
This isn't made up. This is straight from the horse's mouth, and these stories are true. We don't make them up. This is what happens.
You can't make this stuff up.
You can't make it up. No, you can't. You until you do the job.
Yeah.
You would say that people are lying to you.
Yeah, you definitely would.
Wouldn't you?
I wouldn't have believed it. I mean, the stories I heard from my friends that were ALTs and Jets, with we got to do, sports day. We played and happy-go-lucky stories. I never got in the good dirt. So it's good that we don't hold back. We just give it to you.
That's the way it is. We see it on a daily basis, and these things happen.
Yep.
Like. There, like Eric said, there's no holds barred here. These stories are true.
True as they can get.
It's like a Ripley's Believe It or Not. Either you believe it or you come over here and work yourself, and you will see that we are not pulling your legs, so to speak.
We're not pulling the legs. Okay, so should I kick into one, or do you want to kick into one?
Yes, you fire away, Eric. You fire away.
Okay, as I mentioned many times, the Japanese student... likes to do many things in class other than pay attention.
Oh, why does that not surprise me?
So, last week or 2 weeks ago,